Hello and welcome to the SIS Racing Review this Wednesday evening. In tonight's programme we have action from three meetings, Hereford, Plumpton and Hexham. They're going at all three courses. At Hereford it was good to soft, at Plumpton it was good and good to soft in places, and at Hexham it was good. The first at Hereford this afternoon, the 12:30, was a novices hurdle over 2 miles. All 17 ran here, just the one jockey change. Number 13, Julie Starr, was the man to P. Barnard. The favourite on the off at 6 to 5 was number 8, Saint-Ciel.
They're off.
And Jers is the first one to go on. Jers in the early stages, Caspian Beluga a bit slow away. But in the early stages, they come to the first now on the outside. Jumping up to join the leaders, Light-Hearted Lady, as they sort themselves out. Princess Justina there as well, and Belly State just taking a pull and dropping in behind third. A couple of lengths away then is Princess Justina as they draw now towards the second flight and further. Oh, we called for a cab there on the second horse there. Princess Justina got away with it and then took the lead. As they come around the turn the first time now, and it's Princess Justina who shows the way by 2 or 3 lengths to Light-Hearted Lady. Belly State a gap then back in the field at this stage. We see Parisian Express as they come up to the third now. Princess Justina put in a better one there. And then further back, Jers in about 5th position. A long gap to Saint-Ciel is in the middle of the pack at this stage, followed by Esprit de Paradis on the Enfant de Paradis on the inside of this stage. We see Don't Beat the Baby. Further back then, Capital Bond, pulling very hard, Caspian Beluga, followed then by Angel Falling. Back in the field then is Radar Knight as they head out of the straight and a race away from the stands. Belly State getting up on the inside of Light-Hearted Lady to lead by a couple of lengths now. Princess Justina drops in behind. They're about 5 or 6 lengths in advance now of Parisian Express back in the field from Jers. Then follows Saint-Ciel, 10 or 12 lengths off the pace at this stage, followed then on the outside next by Don't Beat the Baby, Caspian Beluga. Then Enfant du Paradis from, as they go over the next one, back in the field then the Capital Bond. Followed then by Radar Knight, Angel Falling, a long gap to Our Martha, Forget the Rest. Vel Dorothy is well out the back at this stage, in company with Madam M, who's well back too, as they continue their journey over the far side. Belly State takes command now. Belly State leads by a couple of lengths to Light-Hearted Lady as they go into the back. A long run before they reach the next flight. A gap then to Jers in 3rd position, followed next on the outside by Saint-Ciel, who's grabbed hold of the bit now and is making rapid progress on the outside. Caspian Beluga trying to follow Saint-Ciel down the back. Princess Justina dropping back from Enfant du Paradis the inside. Then Radar Knight starting a forward move from Parisian Express. But it's Belly State the leader as they go down the back by a couple of lengths at this stage. Belly State leads by 2 lengths to Jers, and Saint-Ciel getting dangerously close on the outside. A length further back then is Light-Hearted Lady as they get over that one. Further back in the field, Enfant du Paradis from Radar Knight. Losing ground, Caspian Beluga, followed next as they go towards the next one now by Capital Bond. Belly State, though, the leader over that one from Jers and Saint-Ciel, hitting it hard, Enfant du Paradis, and lost a couple of places. Radar Knight in 4th position now as they go down towards the turn out of the back. And it's still Belly State who shows the way at this stage. Belly State who leads them going out of the back. And as they head now towards the side of the course, Jers now moving up on the outside, and Saint-Ciel called on for an effort as well. Radar Knight is behind them as they come now towards the next flight. And it's Jers jumping to the front now. Saint-Ciel hit it hard and is starting to struggle a little. Further back then, Belly State from Radar Knight. Saint-Ciel's called it a day, I reckon. Jers has now sprinted to the lead, goes clear of Belly State. Further back then, Radar Knight from Saint-Ciel as they come now towards the second last. Jers the leader by a couple of lengths. Radar Knight's running on well. Jers got over it. He called for a cab on Radar Knight. Further back then, Belly State. A long gap then to Saint-Ciel, who's dropping out, can't win. And the rest are headed by Enfant du Paradis, Angel Falling. Jers, though, with one to jump, straightens up about 5 or 6 in front. Coming towards the last now, it's Jers well clear. Jers draws to it now, takes off, jumped it okay. Radar Knight in second, then Belly State, a long gap to Angel Falling, Saint-Ciel, and then follows Enfant du Paradis. But in the run to the line, it's all Jers. Jers kept going up in the run up to the line, is about 10 lengths clear and goes on to score well. Jers the winner. In second placing, Radar Knight. Belly State struggled on for third, and Angel Falling gets up for fourth.
An impressive debut win there for number 6 Jers, returned at 8-1. Second home was number 7 Radar Knight, 20-1, and third number 1 Bally State, 5-1. On to the next at 1 o'clock, a handicap chase over 2 miles and 3. All 4 ran in this, and there were no changes. The favourite on the off at 7-4 was number 3 Famous Lad.
Kassane, the first one to go on. Kassane in the early stages leads from Chief Ironside and another bolus, and dropping in fourth and last is Famous Lad at the first, and a good leap by Chief Ironside on the outside. He jumps straight into a clear lead from Kassane. A length away then is another bolus, and 2 or 3 further back is Famous Lad. Heading up towards the second now, and Chief Ironside jumped that one perfectly, landed a length in front of Kassane. 2 away then another bolus, and last of all is Famous Lad, who's only 4 or 5 lengths off the pace, and Kassane booting up on the inside now to join Chief Ironside as they go around the first turn and head towards the 2 on the side of the course. Another bolus third, and 2 or 3 lengths further back then is Famous Lad. Kassane back in the lead, though, as they head towards the third fence. A plain one on the side of the course, leads by a couple of lengths to Chief Ironside. Another bolus in third, and Famous Lad biding his time fourth and last as they go to the third. Good jump by Kassane, landed a length and a half or so in front of Chief Ironside. Another bolus wasn't too fluent at it, and further back then is Famous Lad as they head towards the fourth. Kassane the leader by a length or so at this stage as he draws towards this one now. In second placing Chief Ironside on the outside. They both jumped it well. 2 lengths further back the grey, another bolus, and a length and a half then to Famous Lad, who whips them in, but well in touch as they come around the home turn the first time. One awaiting them in the straight, and Kassane is blazing the trail, leads by 2 lengths to on the outside Chief Ironside. Another bolus on the inside third, and 3 or 4 lengths further back is Famous Lad. They head up towards the one in front of the stands now, and Kassane jumped it okay, getting into it slightly. Chief Ironside on the outside, half a length away another bolus, and 3 lengths further back is Famous Lad. They passed the judge. They've got a circuit to go. They've jumped 5 so far, another 9 to go, and it's Kassane on the inside, leads by a length to in second placing Chief Ironside. Another bolus bowling along in third position the inside, and 4 lengths then to Famous Lad as they race towards the plain fence, number 6 on the side of the course. Racing away from the stands, and it's Kassane who jumped it perfectly. Lands about a half length in front of Chief Ironside. The outside has been jumping well throughout. 2 lengths further back than another bolus, and 3 away Famous Lad, still to make a move from the rear of the field. Heading now towards the open ditch, number 7. And the leader to it is on the inside, Kassane from Chief Ironside. Another bolus third as they go to that ditch, and further back then is a Famous Lad, last of the 4, as they head now towards the water, which is number 8. It's Kassane the leader on the inside, drawing to the water from Chief Ironside. There hasn't been much in it throughout, so they step over that one, then another bolus, and a length further back, last of all, is Famous Lad. Heading into the back now and towards a plain fence, which will be number 9, as they head down the back now. And the leader at this stage, Kassane, by a length and a half or so to Chief Ironside. 2 lengths further back then is another bolus, followed then by Famous Lad as they draw towards this plain fence. A good jump by Kassane, and Famous Lad got into it. Lost a couple of lengths there as they head now towards the next plain fence, number 10. And the leader is still Kassane on the inside, a half length in front of Chief Ironside, who got a fraction close. 2 lengths away, another bolus ridden along now, and a gap back in the field then is Famous Lad trying to make up lost ground as they head towards this ditch, number 11. Kassane the leader on the inside by a half length to Chief Ironside. Another bolus made a mistake there and lost valuable ground, passed by Famous Lad who sprints into third. Another bolus now under the whip. Kassane still the leader though, leading the back from Chief Ironside. 2 away Famous Lad who's bidding to gather in these leaders, and further back another bolus as they head to the 2 on the side of the course, heading towards number 12, and it's Kassane the leader by a length and a half. 2 on the outside, Chief Ironside ridden along, Famous Lad working into it on the inner now, and a gap to another bolus as they come towards the next. Kassane on the outside handles it okay. Famous Lad got right into it, wasn't fluent at all. Chief Ironside after the leader now, and a gap then to another bolus. They come to the second last. It's Kassane the leader from Chief Ironside and Famous Lad, a gap to another bolus. They come up towards the second last. Kassane takes off. Judge judged it perfectly. Lands 4 lengths in front of Chief Ironside, who brushed through the top of it. Further back then is Famous Lad as they come around the home turn. A long gap, another bolus. But Kassane has really stretched them. Kassane sprints 10 lengths in front now of Chief Ironside. Further back, Famous Lad, who's run his race. Then another bolus. But Kassane, with 1 to jump, is about 12 lengths in front as he draws to the last now. Kassane, he takes off, and it was a mighty leap at it. He just brushed the top of it, but landed perfectly. 12, 15 lengths in front. A great round by Kassane, who sprints away in the final stages and goes on to score well. Kassane the winner by a good 15 lengths. Chief Ironside holding on a weary second. Famous Lad third, and another bolus fourth.
First number 4, Kassane at 11-4, and second number 2, Chief Ironside, 5-2. On to the next at 1:30, Novices Handicap Hurdle over 2 miles and 3. Number 3, Little Time, was a non-runner here, leaving a field of 17. 2 jockey changes. Number 1, Knight and Coombe, was the mount of Mr. Rodney Farrant, claiming 7. And 13, Sarah Lane, was ridden by Simon McNeil. The favourite on the off at 130 was number 1, Knight and Coombe.
And they're off.
Jumping 11 this time. Tamiz was a bit slow into stride, about 6 or 7 lengths behind the second last horse as they sort themselves out. And Silver Strings right up there with Warner for Pleasure as they come towards the first flight, first of 11. And they all got over it safely. Tamiz jumping at the rear of the field. Warner for Pleasure on the outside of Silver Strings, a length and a half to Knight and Coombe, and then out pretty wide is Horn Player. On the inside next, Mirandi Special from Fenaway as they all got over that one safely. Towards the rear of the field, Sarah Lane in company there with Tamiz, but Warner for Pleasure leads them around the first turn. From Silver Strings, the inside, Mirandi Special tucked away on the inside of Knight and Coombe, then Horn Player a length further back, Mariner's Love, who's travelling on the inside of Fenaway. Further back then is Curette from Anna Valley in the middle of the pack. Then Little Brig the inside, Mariner's Love fair way back at this stage in company with Sarah Lane as they go towards the next. Grey Rum is also out in the middle of the field. Tamiz still towards the tail. All got over the third safely, heading to the fourth. Warner for Pleasure on the outside of Silver Strings, a couple of lengths in advance of Knight and Coombe. Very handy from Horn Player, and Red Brewster moving up on the outside fifth. Then Major League behind them with the red armlets as they get over the next from Curette. Then Fenaway the inside as they come around the home turn. Silver Strings shows the way from Warner for Pleasure. About 4 lengths away, Mirandi Special on the inside of Horn Player. Further back in the field then is Knight and Coombe as they come into the straight now to jump this one. Further back then on the outside, Red Brewster is from Major League as they step over that one. Then Grey Rum, mistake by Anna Valley. He got back into the plate though. She lost a length or so. Back on the inside, Mariner's Love from Grey Rum. Fenaway in that group as well. A gap to Curette. Little Brig out the back and company there at this stage with Pryor's Paddock. Then Isleworth starting to make some ground from Sarah Lane, and Tamiz still last of all, 15 to 20 lengths off the pace. They charge past the stands and race away now out towards flight number 6, and the leader on the inside, Silver Strings with Warner for Pleasure. 3 lengths Mirandi Special on the inside of Horn Player, and Knight and Coombe the centre. Then Major League tucked away on the inside next from Fenaway. Then out pretty wide is Red Brewster. Then Anna Valley in the middle of the pack from Grey Rum. A length further back is Curette, followed by Prize Paddock. Isleworth out the back at this stage, Sarah Lane with Tamiz, a gap, the Little Brig, who looks pretty hopeless there, about 4 or 5 lengths behind the second last horses. They all clear flight number 6. Heading towards the back now. They've got 2 awaiting them down there. A fair run before they reach the 7th. And it's Silver Strings on the inside of Warner for Pleasure. About 4 or 5 lengths to Mirandi Special. Niggle on the inside of Knight and Coombe, and Horn Player out wide. A length further back then in the centre, Major League from Anna Valley. Starting to make some ground from Mariner's Love. Grey Rum. Isleworth's on the inside as they head into the back now. Silver Strings on the inside of Warner for Pleasure. They're stride for stride. They're about 4 or 5 lengths. Mirandi Special, Knight and Coombe, and then Red Brewster out wide. Further back in the field then is Major League from Anna Valley, starting to make some ground and going pretty well too. Mariner's Love in the centre is next. Isleworth on the inside. Then Tamiz, who's coming into it now deep on the track. Further back then is Sarah Lane as they head towards flight number 7. Warner for Pleasure led over it from Silver Strings, weakening. Then in third placing, Knight and Coombe from Red Brewster. Mirandi Special the inside. Major League given a slap with a whip. Anna Valley's cantering. Then follows Grey Rum as they get over the next from Tamiz, and further back then is Mariner's Love as they prepare to leave the back now, and well back is Prior's Paddock. They race towards the turn now, and Warner for Pleasure has got away. Warner for Pleasure goes about 6 lengths in front now of Knight and Coombe. 2 lengths away then is Anna Valley, now starting to run on the outside, moving into it. Tam Eyes is tracking her. Silver Strings under the pump now, and further back in the field, Red Brewster, followed by Grey Rum and Major League at the third last now, and it's Warner for Pleasure, steps over 3 in front now of Knight and Coombe. Then Anna Valley the outside, continuing that run. Further back, Tam Eyes is going to be pulled up. Bad mistake there. Passed by Major League, Silver Strings and Grey Rum. But it's Knight and Coombe who sprints to the lead now, coming towards the second last from Warner for Pleasure. Anna Valley, though, on the outside is produced with her run. Knight and Coombe and Anna Valley jumper together. Awkward at that one was Warner for Pleasure. They've kicked away from the rest. Knight and Coombe on the inside, grabbed by Anna Valley as they come towards the turn now. They've kicked right away with one to jump. Long gap then to Warner for Pleasure, and the rest are headed by Major League. Anna Valley on the outside of Knight and Coombe. They come towards the last now. Knight and Coombe led over it, a length to Anna Valley. They're clear of Warner for Pleasure. Further back, Major League. Knight and Coombe 2 in front on the run in though from Anna Valley. A long gap then to Major League, and then Warner for Pleasure. But Knight and Coombe a little too good, sprinting away near the line. Knight and Coombe goes on to win by 5 lengths. Second is Anna Valley, a good second too. About 15-20 lengths away then. Good battle for third. Oh, there's 4 of them in it there. Grey Rum in company there with Major League and Silver Strings, and Warner for Pleasure just behind them. Leave that to the judge.
First, number 1, Knight and Coombe, the 100-30 favourite. Second, number 11, Anna Valley, 4-1. Third, number 2, Grey Rum, 12-1. And fourth, number 14, Major League, 33-1. On to the next at 2 o'clock, a selling hurdle over 2 miles. 2 non-runners here were number 6, All Electric, and 14, Sporting Wednesday. They left a field of 19. 4 jockey changes. Number 1, Falcon Flight, was ridden by Miss Sandy Forster, claiming 7. 4, See Now, was the mount of Wayne Sterry, also claiming 7. 10, Indelible Mark, was the mount of Jonathan Leach, claiming 3. And 16, Amadora, was the mount of Martin Foster, claiming 5. The favourite on the off at 9-4 is number 1, Falcon Flight.
They're under starters' orders, they're off.
And Amadora, one of the first away. Right up there too is Schweppes Tonic, the inside, and also showing plenty of early dashes. They go to the first as Ibn Zaman, and they're all over the first safely. Ibn Zaman with the blue blinkers showing the way. Amadora under a tight hold, trying to get some cover in the middle of the field. Up there as well, too, in a prominent position, Shelley's Folly in blue blinkers as well, also inclined to take a hold from Falcon Flight, who's nicely settled. Further back then on the inside is Schweppes Tonic as they go over the second, and Amadora got squeezed there in the centre, but they're all over safely. Further back then in about 5th position is Youthful Pip. Then on the outside, Just a Memory from Mummy's Song. But Ibn Zaman leads them into the straight the first time. It's Ibn Zaman who shows the way by 2 or 3 lengths to Shelley's Folly. Then Falcon Flight the outside as they go over the next one. Then Youthful Pip from Schweppes Tonic the inside. Amadora is now nicely settled on the inside of Just a Memory. Further back in the field then One for Irene. Out wide is Indelible Mark. Then High Mariner the inside. Further back is Mummy's Song from Expound. Then in the centre of that pack is Castle Richard King with See Now. Ballyshire's next from Gillen, then Vinton Var towards the tail of the field is Lady Blue's Secret with Simple Truth, who whips them in. They race away from the stands now, and it's Ibn Zaman on the inside of Falcon Flight, given plenty of air out there in the centre. 2 or 3 lengths away then in third position on the inside is Shelley's Folly, a gap then to Youthful Pip. Followed further back then on the outside at this stage on the inside by Schweppes Tonic, then Just a Memory. Indelible Markers next from Amadora. Back in the field on the inside as they go over the next flight is High Mariner from One for Irene, then Mummy's Song, See Now, then Expound towards the rear of the field. There's one gone at the rear, looks like Vinton Var. They head now towards the far corner of the course, and it's Ibn Zaman who shows the way by a couple of lengths to Falcon Flight, pretty wide. 3 lengths away then is Shelley's Folly. Further back then is Youthful Pip from High Mariner. Further back in the field then on the outside is Just a Memory from Schweppes Tonic, One for Irene going forward. Then 2 lengths away is Amadora, about 8th at this stage from See Now as they head into the back now, and it's Falcon Flight who takes command down the back. Falcon Flight out pretty wide, takes over from Ibn Zaman. They've kicked away now from One for Irene. Then follows Shelley's Folly on the inside. Back in the centre of the field is Just a Memory. And then followed Castle Richard King. High Mariner's now being pushed along. They come to flight number 5. And on the outside, Falcon Flight got over it. Mistake by Amadora. She's dropped back sharply there, being pulled up as Gillen behind them. But Falcon Flight 2 in front and going strongly from High Mariner, Just a Memory. As they come to the next, she's a little wide. Further back in the field then is Castle Richard King, who's trying to get into the picture now. But it's Falcon Flight who leads them to the far end of the course. The tail end is Ballyshy in company with Lady Blue's Secret. But as they go around that turn now, and it's Falcon Flight who's 2 or 3 lengths in front. High Mariner second. Further back, Castle Richard King. Then a gap in the field to Just a Memory from One for Irene. A gap to Ibn Zaman, who's run his race from Amadora. And further back then is Schweppes Tonic. As they come to the third last, Falcon Flight stepped over in front of High Mariner. Then follows just behind them on the outside, Castle Richard King. Just a Memory is next. A gap to One for Irene. Then Amadora. And they're followed then by Schweppes Tonic. They come to the second last. She's looking around on Falcon Flight. High Mariner on the inside looks the only threat. They come towards the second last now. Falcon Flight hurdled it well. Got over the length in front now of in second placing. Battling on there is High Mariner. They come around the turn together. It's Falcon Flight and High Mariner. Nothing in it. They've got one to jump. Falcon Flight, just the narrow leader on the outside. They're well clear of Just a Memory, and they're clear of the others. They come to the last now. Falcon Flight and High Mariner. Falcon Flight on the outside of High Mariner. They touch down together. Falcon Flight on the outside of High Mariner. They settle down to fight it out. Well clear of the rest. High Mariner on the inside, gaining the upper hand now from Falcon Flight with 100 yards to go. And it's High Mariner who comes away to win by 2 lengths to Falcon Flight. A long gap then of about 25 lengths or so to Castle Richard King, who got up for third. Just a Memory fourth.
First number 18, High Mariner at 9-2. Second number 1, Falcon Flight, the 9-4 favourite. And third number 7, Castle Richard King at 25-1. The next at 2:30 was Novice's Chase over 3 miles and 1 furlong. Numbers 2, Armin Hotep, and 7, Chimpanzee, were both absentees, leaving a field of 14. A couple of jockey changes. Number 6, Here Comes Charter, was ridden by Martin Foster, claiming 5. And 14, Royal Bouncer, was the man of Bruce Dowling. Number 9, Mad Casanova, started the 5-2 favourite.
They're off.
Gunner's Stream first to begin from Mr. Kirby, and right up there on the inside, Casey's Dancer and also Mad Casanova as they come towards the first now of 19 fences. And Mr. Kirby first to rise. Got over it safely. In fact, they're all over safely. Jumping it very awkwardly in last position is Royal Bouncer. Up to the judge, 2 circuits ahead of them. Mr. Kirby leads Gunner's Stream and Casey's Dancer the inside from On His Own. A length away then Mad Casanova settling on the inside of Scottish Cloud. On the outside out pretty wide as Park Bride. Next followed on the inside by Mint Master. Then in the centre of that bunch is Charlie the Philander, followed by Woodland's Gen Hire as they go to the second now, and Mr. Kirby jumping out a bit to the left, and they're all over that one safely. It's Mr. Kirby on the inside of On His Own. Just behind them is Gunner's Stream. A length and a half further back then on the outside is Charlie the Philander. Casey's Dancer tucked away on the inside of Scottish Cloud. Further back in the field then is Woodland's Gen Hire. Followed next on the inside by Mad Casanova. Then out pretty wide as Park Bride as they go to the open ditch. And Mr. Kirby was very high at that, but they're all over safely. Heading now towards the next one, which is the Water, number 4, and On His Own out pretty wide as the leader. On His Own from Mr. Kirby, and just behind them Gunner's Stream. Followed next then by Charlie the Philander, then follows Mad Casanova. A couple of lengths to Scottish Cloud. Then follows Here Comes Charter, getting up on the inside there of Captain Ahab as they go into the back. Then Casey's Dancer. Further back is Woodland's Gen Hire from Owen's Pride, and a gap to Mint Master. And well out the back is Royal Bouncer, pretty well tailed off as they head into the back now. Number 4 coming up. On His Own led over it, and they all got over safely. On His Own from in second placing Charlie the Philander, followed then by Mr. Kirby as they go now towards fence number 6. Further back then Mad Casanova on the outside in the blue and yellow colours, jumping a bit to the left. Gunner Stream's in the centre in the white colours, followed then by Here Comes Charter. But it's On His Own who leads down to fence number 7, which is an open ditch. On His Own by a length and a half or so to Charlie the Philander, then Mr. Kirby. Then out pretty wide is Mad Casanova from Gunner Stream next, as they get over that one safely. Well back at this stage is Park Bride, who's out the back with Owen's Pride, and also Woodland's Genhire. Casey's Dancer is already under the whip, and still last of all is Royal Bouncer. Heading over the side of the course now, On His Own still the leader by a length and a half or so. To in second placing Charlie the Philander. Out pretty wide as Mad Casanova. Mr. Kirby tucked in behind him as they go to number 8. Then Here Comes Charter from Gunner Stream. Further back is Park Bride out pretty wide as they get over that one. Further back then is Owen's Pride, the inside, followed well back by Captain Ahab. Then follows Park Bride out the back. Woodland's Genhire getting a reminder there as they go to fence number 9. On His Own, the leader on the inside of Gunner Stream. They're going to take it together. Gunner Stream, a narrow leader over it. From in third placing, Charlie the Philander, just passed now by Mad Casanova. Then follows Mr. Kirby on the inside of Here Comes Charter, and they've kicked away from the others. Well back at this stage is Mint Master, has made up some ground from Park Bride as they come into the straight the first time. Owen's Pride well out the back with Captain Ahab. Then Woodland's Genhire, a long gap to Casey's Dancer and Royal Bouncer as they go over that one. Bad mistake there by Charlie the Philander. He did a good job to get him right again. He's lost about 4 or 5 lengths, but I reckon he's lost all chance. At the judges' circuit to go now, and it's On His Own, the leader from Gunner Stream. 2 lengths away, Mad Casanova going well on the outside of Here Comes Charter, is also travelling kindly. 4 or 5 lengths away, Mr. Kirby from Mint Master, then Park Bride on the outside of Charlie the Philander. A gap then to Owen's Pride, followed by Captain Ahab, Woodland's Genhire as they get over the next plain fence. Mistake by Park Bride, and out the back is Casey's Dancer, who jumped it well out to the left there, and also Royal Bouncer, and they'll be pulled up pretty soon, I reckon. As they head down now towards the open ditch the second time, number 12 coming up. And the leader is On His Own from Gunner Stream. A length away then is Here Comes Charter on the inside of Mad Casanova. Further back then in fifth position, Mint Master. They're well spread out now. A long gap in the field then to Mr. Kirby as they head towards the water now. Charlie the Philander's run his race, dropping right back under the whip now as the leaders get over the water. And Here Comes Charter was very awkward at it. Lost ground there, dropped his back legs in it. And well out the back now, tailed off in fact are Owen's Pride and company there with Captain Ahab. Into the back, On His Own, the leader on the inside, narrowly from Gunner Stream, and Mad Casanova travelling well third. About 5 or 6 lengths then to Here Comes Charter as they go towards the next fence now. Further back in the field then is Mint Master, Mr. Kirby. Well out the back, Captain is Woodland's Genhire, Owen's Pride, and Charlie the Philander. Going towards number 15, a plain fence now. And on the inside, it's On His Own, headed now by Mad Casanova, who takes control. Mad Casanova on the outside, leading from Gunner Stream, then On His Own, the inside, as they come now towards the last of the ditches, which is number 16. Mad Casanova takes off, jumped it well, and a bad fall there by Gunner Stream. He had no chance at all. He's bad fall there at the last of the ditches, Gunner Stream. Rider seems to be getting to his feet. It's Mad Casanova who leads them around that turn now, and they head towards fence number 17, a plain one. Leads by a couple of lengths to On His Own. It's Mad Casanova by 2 lengths to On His Own now as they travel up the side of the course, and they've kicked away from the rest. Mad Casanova in front though. Here Comes Charter in third position. Mint Master a distant fourth. Coming up now towards the 17th. Mad Casanova 3 or 4 in front. Draws to it now from On His Own. Jumps out to the left. On His Own got over it well. A gap then to Here Comes Charter from Mint Master. They come towards the second last now, and it's Mad Casanova who leads them down to it. It's Mad Casanova a long way clear, about 6 or 7 lengths in front now of On His Own. He draws to the second last now. Mad Casanova takes off, got into it, but landed safely enough from On His Own. A long gap then to Here Comes Charter, Mint Master. They seem to be the only other ones there. A long gap then to Woodland's Genhire. Forget the rest, headed by Mr. Kirby. Around the turn now, one to jump. And it's out in front, Mad Casanova. On His Own's getting a second win now, trying to get after this leader. A long gap to Here Comes Charter. One to jump though, and it's Mad Casanova in front. Draws to it, jumps it okay. On His Own, gone at the last. On His Own, a faller there. And a long way back then is Here Comes Charter, who's going to jump the second last. Jump the last in second, I should say. But it's Mad Casanova who's going to win by a street here. Mad Casanova goes on to win well. Here Comes Charter, kept going, will go on for second. Mint Master will get third, and it's going to be a battle for fourth. Woodland's Genhire and Mr. Kirby there, both fighting it out with Park Bride.
First number 9, Mad Casanova, the 5-2 favourite. Second number 6, Here Comes Charter, 5-1. And third number 1, Mint Master at 10-1. On to the 3 o'clock novices chase handicap over 2 miles. 1 Norrena Hills, number 1, Richard's Kate, they left a field of 7. 1 Jockey Change, number 2, Sharp Order, was the man of Mr. Tim Ely, claiming £7. That one was made the favourite at 9-4.
And they're off.
Father Paddy goes straight off into the lead from, as they sort themselves out, Big Eck, and back on the inside is August Folly. As they come now to the first of 12, and Father Paddy jumping a little awkwardly but landed safely enough. August Folly inclined to pull in behind on the inside as they draw now towards the second. Big Eck on the outside is next from Henley Wood, and further back Sharp Order, a gap then to Plas Hendy and Kajar. At the second, and Father Paddy jumping high and out to the left a little bit, but landed safely enough from August Folly, is still reefing and pulling. And now on the outside, Henley Wood is raced up to join the leader and now clap on a bit more pace. Henley Wood on the outside of Father Paddy as they come up towards the one in the straight the first time. Number 3 overall. And it's on the inside, Father Paddy, Henley Wood the outer. They come to it now. They both jump it okay. Clear there of August Folly. Big Eck on the outside is next. Slight mistake by Kajar back towards the rear, who's tailing out to last. Father Paddy on the inside of Henley Wood, about 8 lengths in front of August Folly. A length and a half then to Sharp Order on the inside of Big Eck. 2 away then is Plas Hendy, and a gap of 15 lengths to Kajar, who whips them in as they race to the one on the side of the course now, number 4. A plain fence coming up. Henley Wood on the outside of Father Paddy and jump to a clear lead there. Been about 2 in front. They've cleared away now. A good 8 lengths in front of Sharp Order on the outside of August Folly. Then Big Eck out wider. 2 lengths away Plas Hendy, and a long gap of 25 lengths or so to Kajar. Along the side of the course now towards number 5. It's an open ditch coming up, and it's Henley Wood the leader by a length or so to Father Paddy on the outside, who was a bit slow at it. Then follows Sharp Order from August Folly the inner. Further back Plas Hendy. Father Paddy getting a reminder there. A gap then to Big Eck, and Kajar has tailed off. Going to the water now, and it's Henley Wood on the inside who clears it first from Father Paddy and August Folly. 2 away then is Plas Hendy from Sharp Order. A gap then to Big Eck, and Kajar just scrambling over the water now. Into the back, and they've got 3 awaiting them down there. 2 plain ones and an open ditch, and Henley Wood shows the way into the back. Leads by a couple of lengths to Father Paddy. Then tucked away is August Folly. Out wider in the green cap is Sharp Order from Plas Hendy, and a gap then to Big Eck as they go over that one. Mistake there by Henley Wood. Got away with it. The faller back in the field, Big Eck. As they come now towards the next one, number 8 down the back, and it's Henley Wood on the inside from Father Paddy. Draws to it now and put in a shorty there, Henley Wood, but got away with it. Sharp Order going nicely on the outside from August Folly. Big Eck, I should say, just in behind them, Father Paddy. A gap then to Plas Hendy, and they've kicked away. On towards the last of the ditches now, number 9, Sharp Order jumps to a narrow lead from Henley Wood, still going well. A gap then to August Folly, 2 lengths away as they race towards that turn out of the back now. And about 4 or 5 lengths in advance there of Father Paddy. Then follows Plas Hendy as they go around that turn. They've got 2 up the side of the course now, and Kajar still continuing on, is tailed off. Heading now towards number 10, and Sharp Order the leader from Henley Wood, still going well on the inner though. 2 lengths away then is August Folly. A long gap to Plas Hendy, then Father Paddy, who's called it a day from Kajar. At the third last now, and it's Sharp Order who's the leader over it from August Folly. Henley Wood's dropped back a couple of places now. A long gap then to Plas Hendy, followed further back then by Kajar. Coming to the second last now, and Sharp Order on the outside of August Folly. They've kicked away from Henley Wood. At the second last now, Sharp Order on the outside, jumped it magnificently. Landed 2 lengths in front now. Battling on is August Folly, and they've kicked away now from Henley Wood. Further back then is Kajar. Plas Hendy's continuing on and being pulled up Father Paddy before the second last. 1 to jump. Sharp Order about 4 or 5 in front. Set sails for the judge. In second placing now August Folly. A long gap of 30 lengths then to the grey Kajar, making up some ground. Sharp Order though comes to the last now. Jumps it well. Lands 6 lengths in front. August Folly in second, then Kajar, who's made up enormous ground from Henley Wood, who walks over the last. But up to the line now, Sharp Order kept going, is starting to stop, but will get there by about 5 lengths. Kajar flying home, gets up for second. Third then is August Folly, and a long gap to Henley Wood fourth.
First number 2, Sharp Order, the 9-4 favourite. Second number 5, Kajar at 6-1. And third for Tricast purposes was number 7, August Folly. On to the last at 3:30, a mares only National Hunt flat race over 2 miles. One non-runner in this was number 11, Mistress Mackenzie, leading a field of 16. 2 jockey changes. Number 2, Miss Purbeck, was the mount of John Kavanagh, claiming £3. And 15, the Gymnasium, the mount of Dennis Leahy, claiming 7. Favoured on the off at 3 to 1 was number 5, Galestrom.
Easby Mandrina leads by a couple of lengths on settling down to La Princess. Then May Official for 2 pins on the outside with a red cap. Tucked away behind them, Nick Samlin from Galestrom. Further back in the field then at this stage, as they sort themselves out, is Pandora's Prize pulling her way up on the outside now into about 6th position as they come around into the straight the first time. Easby Mandrina is the leader. Easby Mandrina leads them down the straight by a couple of lengths to Nick Samlin, tucked away on the inside there of La Princess, May Official, and for 2 pins. Then on the outside, Pandora's Prize inclined to pull a bit from Galestrom, the centre. Then back on the inside of runners is Patronize, followed then in the centre by Water's Aid, followed then by Miss Pettytoes back in the field, then Lady of Stratton. Next in is Miss Purbeck, followed by Whitney Girl, and then cruise along towards the tail of the field in company with Midnight Mystic. But racing away from the stands, and Easby Mandrina leads by 4 or 5 lengths and setting a good clip, going further ahead if anything. For 2 pins on the outside is running second, followed then by Pandora's Prize, La Princess. 2 lengths away, the Gymnasium has made up some ground. Further back is Nick Samlin, the inside from Patronize, then May Official, who's lost ground from Water's Aid. Then Galestrom out wide on the course. Further back in the field, then Lady of Stratton as they head over the side. A gap there is Whitney Girl from Miss Purbeck, then Miss Pettytoes cruise along, and Midnight Mystic last of all as they race to the far corner of the course. And Easby Mandrina leads them by a couple of lengths too at this stage. On the inside, tucked away is for 2 pins. On the outer, Pandora's Prize has really taken hold of the bit and going well. 3 or 4 lengths further back then on the inside, Nick Samlin as they turn into the back now from Galestrom has made some ground. Further back then is this stage La Princess. Back on the inside is Patronize, followed then by Water's Aid, the Gymnasium, Miss Purbeck out wide. Then follows Whitney Girl as well back, a gap then to Miss Pettytoes out the back in company with, at this stage, we see Cruise Along, and you can forget the rest, Midnight Mystic in company with May Official. But it's Easby Mandrina down the back who leads a couple of lengths now to Pandora's Prize, going well on the outside of Nick Samlin. 2 lengths further back, Galestrom going well also, followed further back then by La Princess. But Easby Mandrina is the leader. Easby Mandrina by 2 or 3 lengths at this stage to Nick Samlin, followed then by Galestrom making ground on the outside of Pandora's Prize. And they've kicked away from La Princess up the side of the course from Miss Purbeck, and the white cap trying to make some ground. Easby Mandrina, though, the leader down the side. They're racing now towards the home bend, and it's Easby Mandrina who leads by about a length or so, a couple of lengths to in second placing Nick Samlin. Then follows Galestrom going well. 4 or 5 lengths away, La Princess from Miss Purbeck under the pump. Pandora's Prize has run her race. Easby Mandrina, though, the leader from Nick Samlin, and also Galestrom going well on the outside as they race down now towards the home turn. And it's Nick Samlin who holds the fence, but Easby Mandrina is now drifting a little bit wide. Nick Samlin got the lead. Galstrom's battling on in 3rd placing, followed by La Princess, who's running on well now from Miss Purbeck. They're homeward bound. Nick Samlin drifting out under pressure now to the outside fence. This allows La Princess through, and La Princess has dashed through now to take it up from Nick Samlin. Miss Purbeck running on fairly well, but it's La Princess running all over the place, but about 4 or 5 lengths in front, and La Princess going on to win well here from Nick Samlin. Then follows Miss Purbeck 3rd, and 4th Easby Mandrina.
First number 7, La Princess at 7 to 1. Second number 12, Nick Samlin, 10 to 1. And third number 2, Miss Purbeck at 7 to 2. That completes the review from Hereford. Coming next, a look back at the meeting from Plumpton.